Yo, what's up, guys? In today's video, we have the red versus blue 2-pack from Jaswares for the Spartan collection line. So, let's get into that. But first, I do want to address something here. My new setup. And it's not much. It's just my granny's crochet room, as you can see in here. It's just a black table that I'll be filming on and doing stop motions on, hence why there's a green screen in the background. I also have a stop motion in the works, or at least I have a script written for it. Hopefully, if I do it right, it'll be about an hour and a half long. It's more of a movie, but that'll be coming, called Red versus Blue Reunion. It's basically a what-if story after the events of Restoration. And it'll be filmed here. I'm just waiting on a pair of green screen gloves to get here to start filming that. But, let's get to business. Let's get into this thing. Alright, let's cut this thing open. So, just gonna touch that tape. Anything else around this? I don't think so. So, let's get it going. So I hope I didn't miss any tape. The thing felt kind of hard to pull out. Oh wait, pause, pull out of the box. Rephrase that. But, so here it is in the outer shell. Ooh, the hands right here. Let's not lose this stuff, the mini accessories. But so here it is, in the outer inch box. So let's I'll be right back once I cut everything out. Alrighty, so here we have them laid out, ready to look at. So the red dude comes with a brute shot, plasma sword, and then 5 extra hands. Again, blue guy comes with a battle rifle and a magnum and 5 extra hands. So take a look at the red guy first, since red is my favorite color. It was basically a standard Halo 3 Master Chief. There is some better joint quality. I did play around with it for a second. The joints are a lot tighter and better. And you can tell the hands are just made of more solid plastic. I'm going to have to play with those for a second to even get it on the brute shot. I tried to put that in his hand and it was not wanting to go in. So you can tell the hands are better made, as in they don't mold easy. You mean you have to use some hot water to flex them open. And he's got the chrome visor, which is basically a standard for all Halo figures now. It's just that chrome visor you can see your reflection in. Someone tried to dox me, by the way. That'd be cool. Yeah, that's basically it, except for he's got this symbol on his shoulder. And I know the red versus blue people have symbols on their shoulder. I'm not an idiot. I've watched the TV show Red versus Blue. I've played Halo since I was 5 years old. But what is that symbol? Because if I'm remembering correctly, I thought the red teams had Cobra and the blue teams had an eagle. Right. So, what is this juggernaut skull with a crown? What even is that? That's my only question about this figure. Everything else is spot on from the game. And this actually is a good sign here. And not a great sign we're getting it. But they released a red versus blue 2-pack. I'm hoping we can get some actual red versus blue figures like Sarge, Simmons, Griff, Tucker from Jaswares. They haven't really done very much with the Halo line recently. And I think red versus blue would kind of fall under Halo. So they could totally get away with making us some figures. I mean, they may still have to talk to Bernie, but Bernie would say, hell yeah. I know Bernie would. He'd love that. So, that's pretty much it for him, as in detail-wise. They did make sure to add a few roughs and scrapes here and there on the arms. Does look like they did a little bit of a black wash here, which is good, because, this guy's supposed to have been fighting in battle against them dirty blues. So yeah, it's a pretty good figure. I'm really happy I got this. So, take it back there, and now let's take a look at the blue guy. So, start with basically same stuff. You got the same chrome visor that come to know and love. Funny thing was though, his default hands are open palms, and his are closed grab hands. So that's kind of funny. Wonder why they did gave him open palm defaults and him grabbing defaults. But so the only difference about this guy is really that he's blue, and he has a different symbol on his shoulder. And again, aren't they supposed to have eagles? Please, someone answer this in the comments. What are these symbols? Like, did Halo 3 change the symbols? Because I never really did Halo 3 multiplayer. So, like, did Halo 3 change the red versus blue symbols to these weird symbols? Because these are based on the Halo 3 game, which I never did Halo 3 multiplayer. I bought the game, beat the story, and kind of kept playing Halo 2 multiplayer. So, yeah. So yeah, if someone knows that, answer that, because I'm pretty sure last time I played Red vs. Blue, which was Halo 2, it was Cobra and Eagle. Not weird helmet with wings or Juggernaut with a crown. Juggernaut skull with a crown. No. That was not what was in Halo 2. So that's the only question I have about this, like, is that ergonomically correct? But aside from that, these are really good figures. I can't see anything wrong with them straight away. But let's get into the articulation. As for the articulation, I'm only going to go over one of them because they're essentially the exact same figure. So to start with, head goes up about all the way back there. Then can look down. The armor does get in the way. Like, he does have better range of motion in the ball, but you got this armor piece right here that stops him from going any further down. His head can turn all the way around. You can snap his neck like that. Arm goes about that high till this gets in the way. Back down. Adds a little bit of swivel in the bicep muscle. And then elbow can bend about that much, again, until the armor gets in the way. Back down. You have a tiny bit of hyperextension. A very tiny bit. And then, obviously, the wrist rotates like that, and then goes up and down. Torso turns slightly side to side, and then up and down a little bit. Have a little bit of crunch there. Legs go out about that far. Back in. Inward and outward rotation in the upper leg. Then you can pivot, rotate it forward and backwards like that. And then the knee bends about that far back. And I noticed this here, now I'm looking at this, they did not double joint this figure. Like, if you notice, a lot of, even like the original Spartan Collection Master Chief had double jointed. As you can see, they kind of sculpted that in there, but it's not an actual moving joint. Something like World of Halo figures were all double jointed. So I wonder why they didn't go with that route, but it's kind of just sculpted in there. Ankle goes up and down, turns all the way around like that. Toe, does the toe have articulation? Yeah, toe has a tiny bit of articulation there. Goes like that, so you can have him like on his tippy toe, kinda. But, and that's about it for articulation. Alright, so here we have the accessories. So we have the blue hands on one side, the red hands on one side, and the respective weapon on each side. Let's take a look at these first. Start with the energy sword. I don't see anything different from the last rendition of the energy sword we had with the chief and the weapon 2-pack. It virtually looks exactly the same. I noticed, though, the plastic is a little bit harder and doesn't bend as well. I remember the old energy sword, or at least my copy. I'm not sure how it was for everyone. I heard different reviews on it, but mine got to the point where it bent so bad it would sit like this. And I tried to bend it straight again, it would just sit, it just would go right back to it. I eventually fixed it, and then it broke because I froze it and then thawed it out a little bit and kept it at that temperature. That way it would stay like this. But then I dropped it and it snapped. I had to glue that back together. So yeah, it is now broken. But this is a lot harder plastic. That way it ain't going to warp like that. But it still won't break if you drop it, which is the best thing for accessories like this. Then you got the brute shot. I am noticing a little bit different to weathering than the old one with the Rogue figure. The older one with the Rogue figure looks just more product line, brand new, freshly made. And this one looks more like battle worn and more like cuts on the blade and scratches, and just looks like it's actually been used in combat, basically. It's the only real difference with this one. So, looks good. And then moving on to the red hands. Nothing too different here. You have some trigger pointer hands, as you can see there. You have, not drop them, some punching hands, like this. And then, obviously, you have the single energy sword hand, that way he can hold his energy sword. Moving on to the blue. You have the Halo 3 Classic Magnum, which looks really good. And they went with a deeper shade of gray and black than the other one. The other one looked more silver and metallic. This one looks more matted and gray. So overall, I like this aesthetic a lot better. And like you see the red dot here. I'm not sure what that red dot's supposed to mean, but it's there for a reason. Otherwise, they would not have put it there. So then like the scope on it, like kind of like the sight. So yeah, and they also have a peg hole so you can attach it to the waist. Then you have the battle rifle. This one looks exactly the same. I'm pretty sure the last one they did also had this blatted silverish look, which looks really good. I got the sniper rifle up here. I was to try to do something like metallic-y with the lens, and they need to do that. That way it looks like it's an actual scope and not just the cover on it. I actually could say the cover is on the scope right now, but they still could do something better with it. And then maybe one day try to do an ammo count right here. That's the only thing I can really ask for on this, is like try to do a little bit more detail with like the ammo count and scope. And this is a perfect battle rifle. Well, so onto the hands. We have 2 grab hands for the blue. Look good, looks good. We have 2 like 1 single point. Oh wait, no, that's a single point. We got 2 single points, as you can see down there, and then 1 double point right here. So yeah, it looks good. Alrighty. Alright, so for the hands, he's got these default hands. Look pretty good on them. They're mainly used for the grabbing. I couldn't see anything else since he actually has punch hands, so you wouldn't need these for like fist punches. But yeah. Then he's got these pointing hands. Little finger. I think this is meant for like the magnum, if you want to give him the magnum. Because you know, like in actual gun safety, you're supposed to have your finger along the side of the gun, not on the trigger, until you actually want to shoot. So I'm pretty sure that's meant for the magnum, the point hand. And then back side right here. So yeah. Then he's got his punching hands, right like this. Now he can throw hands with Mr. Blue Guy over there. So yeah. Then he's got his energy sword hand right here with the little crack in there. That way you can put the indent in between his fingers. So yeah, looks good. So then the blue guy has these open palm hands right like this as his defaults. Not a bad choice, not a bad choice. So then the only other actually original hand he has is this. His like 2 fingers instead of 1. The other hands are just the same as the red guys were. So yeah. Alright, so here the red guy is holding his brute shot. The hand over here that's supposed to hold on to that little ball spot doesn't really hold on too well, as you can see there. But aside from that, he looks pretty good holding it, especially if you're looking from like this side of him over here. You can't really tell that. So aside from that, pretty good pose here. It's just a basic shooting brute shot pose. So yeah. Then here he is holding the energy sword. It was a lot easier to get that in his hand since that hand is literally molded for the energy sword. And he looks really good using it. So it's a good pose here. He can hold that really well. And I like that this thing don't drag him down too much. Like if the World of Halo collection, if you guys ever have any of those figures that have energy swords, you can barely get them to hold the energy sword with the exception of the Elite Warlord. To where like it's so heavy here, it topples the figure over. And he has no problem with that. The weight is distributed evenly where this is light enough where he can hold it and still hold his pose. So that's good. So he's holding that BR. Kind of like a kneel pose. And I'm pointing at the camera. So he holds it really well. Holds this better than the red guy holds his weapons. So looks a lot better with it too. Yeah, I can easily see him killing some grunts out in the open or firing at this idiot down here. So yeah. Here he is holding the Magnum. Again, pointing towards the camera like a side stance with the pistol pointed out and him facing down the sight. And he's good holding it. I had trouble getting him to hold it for a second just because the finger was going under this part instead of coming over it and holding on to it. But got him to hold it eventually. And I think this is a really cool pose. So yeah. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. There will be further pictures of these on my Instagram. My Instagram name is NathanNeedYT, all lowercase. So, see you guys next one. Bye.